So when I get asked the question of do I need to take the breath or the blood test, I like to answer that with another question, which is really helpful, right? Which is when? When are we talking about? Because when you're being asked to take a breath or blood test really matters in the answer to this question. So if you're being asked before you've been placed under arrest, so police officer is on the side of the road, for example, with you, you're being asked to do this breath test, you have not been placed under arrest or told that you're going to be arrested, right? At this point, they're just investigating you. If you are asked to do a breath test, the state of California, it's generally called a preliminary alcohol screening test. And it's just like another field sobriety test. It's something the officers use in their investigation to decide if they're going to place you under arrest. That test is optional. You can and you should decline to take that test. So if you have not been placed under arrest, you're just being investigated, that is a voluntary test that you are allowed and recommended to say, no, I'm declining to take that test. And you're within your rights to do that. So you don't have to take any breath tests prior to being arrested. The exception to that is that if somebody is under 21 years old, or if somebody is on DUI probation from a prior DUI case, for those people in that category, if you're on DUI probation or you're under 21, that first breath test, even though you haven't been placed under arrest, is not optional for you. You are required to take that. But assuming that you're not on DUI probation and you're over the age of 21, you can decline that initial request for a breath test. Now, the next time period that matters in the when question is if you are under arrest, if an officer has either told you that you're being placed under arrest, handcuffed you, anything to signal that this is no longer just an investigation, you've now been arrested for this charge. At that point, an officer is supposed to tell you that you are required by law to take a breath or blood test. So at that point, I do not recommend declining the test. If you've already been placed under arrest, you are required to give a breath or blood test. And if you fail to do so, you'll be deemed what's called a refusal. And a refusal carries a very harsh penalty for your driver's license. If you refuse a post-arrest chemical test, you'll lose your license on a first offense for a year, on a second offense for 2 years. And it keeps going up from there, but it's a really harsh penalty on a first-time DUI to lose your license for 1 year. And that's what happens if somebody declines to take the post-arrest breath or blood test that's offered to them. So if you are prior to being arrested, you may decline. If you're after arrest, you shouldn't, because a refusal will carry at least a year of a hard license suspension for you.